Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to introduce you to a longtime friend of mine, Honor Genetski. Honor is a therapist turned transformational coach that helps moms create joyful, thriving families. Hi, Honor. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Hi, Jamie. Thank you so much for having me on. Welcome everybody to this conversation. I think it's going to be so powerful for us to connect with all of you moms who are holding so much. I have been helping moms for the better part of 20 years to create joyful, happy families. And we start with mom. The several programs that I have that I help moms in and my free offers are always around helping moms create more ease and just more self-trust and self-confidence so that the connection they can have with their children grows stronger and deeper. And everybody wants that long-term knowing that their kids are always going to come to them. So that's really at the core of what I help moms with.
Beautiful. I spend 100 hours a month talking to moms of teenage girls who have anxiety. And what's so special about these conversations that I have is moms are 100% focused on getting their daughters the help that they need. But when we peel back some layers and I ask moms, how are you really doing? It just all comes flooding out. So what would you say to moms who are working so hard to hold it together for their daughters that they're not taking care of themselves?
Yeah, this is so common. I'm really glad you asked this. It's something that I see a lot too, that moms will really pour into the relationship. And when you have a tough kiddo or a kid who's prone to anxiety or who's highly sensitive, just even that, having a highly sensitive or spirited kid, we know is so much more on that mom's plate. And then as mom, you kind of look around and go like, why am I, what's wrong with me? Why am I struggling so much when everyone else seems to have it so easy? Or people, like dare say things to you about advice about how you should be parenting so that you can help your kid, that your kid can be as great as their kid. And it's just so much year after year. And I know it, you know my story, you know that I know this. And I love that when we are able to help a mom to get more connected to her own heart, her own light, instead of her worry and fear about her daughter, that things start to shift very rapidly because there's so much innate wisdom and intuitive knowing inside of us, like if we know how to tap into it. But what I find, the harder the kid is, or the harder that relationship is for moms, the less plugged in they are typically to their own self-trust, confidence, and knowing. And it's because it's been shaken. It's because that's hard earned. And so, one of the things I just want to say to everyone who's listening is that it's not your fault. It's not that you did something wrong or that you failed. And I've had those moments myself on my knees of feeling like I don't know how to parent this kid. And I know a lot of my clients have had that moment of darkness. But the truth is that it is simply a skill gap in how to support this particular kid that you have. That is your gift that is given to you. And our kids are our best teachers if we're willing to open to that and really grow through that.
Oh, that's so beautiful that our kids are our best teachers, and it's the truth, right?
So true. In my case, 1,000%. If I wasn't a mom, I wouldn't know that in my bones, but we know that as moms.
I know. It just makes me think. I used to describe myself as calm and go with the flow prior to having my spirited child, right? Who it just is. It's really eye-opening. So I would love to hear the moms that you work with and help get to the point where they have joyous, connected families. What's one piece of advice that those moms would give the moms in this group or the moms who are listening to this interview?
Oh, yeah, that's fun. So, what's one piece of advice that they would give? I think that many of my clients who have already gone through the transformational process of sometimes it's repairing a connection that's been lost with their, especially teen kids, especially teen daughters. And sometimes it is uh, for the first time, a connection, like a real genuine loving connection. Not that people haven't known they loved their kids and their kids love them back, but like to feel like you can have in the moment, a heart to heart, like, wow, I really see, I feel seen, I feel understood, and my kid feels seen and understood. That is like the holy grail, right? And I'm in my life, I'm working hard to create that as much as I can. And I think when my moms get to that point of experiencing that, they often will say, it really wasn't that hard. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm sharing this because I think we really work it up in our minds, like over analyzing and overthinking. And we've got the monkey mind, if you've heard that term before. It's hard to shut off that 3 a.m. worry about losing a connection with a kid or them getting into an unsafe situation and not knowing, well, that's not even knowing them going to someone else. And that's such a deep fear that so many mothers hold. But when you're able to get into, and my work is a lot about healing past patterns, trauma, changing and shifting those things that have become big barriers in the relationship with our kids. And so when we can do that and shift our own programming and rewire that, like how we think and feel about our relationships or ourselves as moms, the relationship almost instantaneously shifts and awakens. We don't have to do anything to make it happen. We just have to work on our own, what we're bringing to it. And when we get into a space as moms of really feeling from the heart, of speaking from the heart to our kids, of handling, I call it cleaning up our own side of the street. What's our own worry, fear, anxiety, anger, resentment that we're bringing to the equation that our kids smell from a mile away and are like, I don't want to talk to you about that. I don't want you to control me. I don't want to be manipulated by you. Like, bravo, our kids are smart. They don't want our crap on them. So they kind of put the hand out. And I always tell parents, like, just, allow that if that happens. But I think most of them would say, gosh, once I figured out the formula for managing my own emotions and thoughts and how I think about this kid, then they blossomed, flourished, and warmed up. And so, I could tell you like story after story of kids coming, parents coming to calls and celebrating and saying that, well, my 16-year-old laid down on me and put her head in my lap. And I was like sitting there frozen. Where did this come from? So it's almost like, how did this happen? But the reality is when we learn that kind of heart-centered presence, then it just does itself. Our kids just kind of warm up to us. Does that make sense?
Oh, beautiful. Something that was on my mind as I was listening to you talk, Honor, I feel like moms are willing to go to the end of the earth for their children, right? And we're warriors for our kiddos. If they need something, we're going to figure it out. But sometimes it's so much harder to give that same love and attention to ourselves. So do you mind talking to these moms who are all in this room because they're worried about their daughters, about the importance of pouring into themselves?
Yeah, 100%. So I want to say a couple things about this because I think there's a lot of misperception around what filling your cup means or what is self-care or what's the purpose of that. And I know when a lot of people get on my calendar to share with me what's going on with them, to look for resources, one of the biggest things that they've been taught or told or they've gleaned from, what their friends are saying or doing is if I would just make time for myself each week to do something that makes me happy, that's away from the family or kids, then that would be enough. It should be enough. And I should be okay. And I should be able to then show up for my family with bells on and be present and joyful and have dance parties and make them dinner every night and not resent the fact that nobody picks up their dishes. And it's just not true. It's just not true. That's called like bypassing the truth of what's really going on. It matters. So I want to say a couple things. Our energy matters. Our well-being matters. And it is the number one biggest factor in influencing whether we have a healthy relationship with our kids or whether there is funkiness and resentment and distance. And your well-being as a mom is the most important ingredient to that, the most important factor to that. But what does that mean? And people get really stuck on, should I just have a massage every week or should I go to a yoga class and will that be enough? And the answer is no. And if you've tried it, you know that's not enough. And the reason why is because people do that half hour or that hour, they take a break, they hit the pause button, they take a break from all the problems of family and relationship in life and have a nice distraction. And I'm all for nice distractions. I love a nice distraction and I love to move my body in nature, and those are all good things. But when you come back, if nothing's changed, if you don't have any new skills to bring to the table with how to speak to your kids, how to up-level your communication, how to deal with your own like emotions that have been there for now years, maybe a decade, about your kid or worry and all these habitual feelings that come into relationship. If you haven't dealt with that, you just jump right back into the soup and then it gets messy again. So for me, in my area of expertise, and I've been doing this for 20 years, the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves as moms is to increase our own skills and strategies for how to be emotionally and mentally clear, uncluttered, and in alignment with the joyful, thriving family that we want. And it doesn't happen by sacrificing ourselves for them. And it doesn't happen by only ever thinking about them. And it doesn't happen by only ever investing in our kids, time, energy, money. We know that that sets everything sideways. So if I could just shout from the rooftops, one thing I would say, like all your kids want is to feel loved, seen, and understood by you. And the only way to make that happen is for you to be seen, felt, and understood by you. And when we create that within ourselves and we create our own joy and we create our own ease, then we don't have to chase our kids to take up responsibility for their things. We don't have to guilt trip them into thinking that they're the cause of our unhappiness. We don't have to worry all night long about them. Those are extensions of the root cause of the problem, which is my own self-doubt about myself as a mom, or my own lack of confidence in how to handle hard things. When we solve that at the root cause, we build a new foundation, and man, everything else just dissipates. It's magical.
For those of you who are listening to the recording, I highly suggest that you rewind and listen to the last 2 minutes again. What you just shared, Honor, is absolute gold. So thank you for that. I'm really excited about the opportunity that everyone listening has. I know you're hosting a workshop series at the end of the month. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, so excited to share this with your audience. So moms, I'm doing something I've never done before, which is a summer workshop series that's a mini virtual retreat. And we're starting June 24th, and it's going to be a live 5-day free event. Anyone is welcome who's a mom who this is resonating with. I would love to have you. We're going to be doing these beautiful capsule lessons. So 30 minutes of focused time a day to teach you core skills, with the result of having a summer of ease and flow and fun. Even if that is nowhere near your reality, you're going to get so much out of this experience. If those words feel like, God, what is that? That's like a planet I can't even imagine, then this is for you. Because even if you have not been tending to yourself and not been filling your tank, you're going to learn all about how to do that and what those techniques are. And I'm going to do them with you, and we're going to have Q&As, and you're going to get live coaching, and it's going to be a really, really deep and beautiful experience. So please do come. I'll give Jamie the link so that you guys can register again. It's free. Go ahead and sign up. I've got all the bells and whistles to help you and make this convenient. Convenience is one of my favorite things. So we've got text alerts for the sessions, and we've got email alerts. You don't have to think, you can just show up. And then the other place for people to come is to my Facebook group. I'll share that link with you. So that's where kind of all the details are.
Great. I'm so excited about this, and I'll see you guys there, because this 30 minutes every single day for 5 days, that's free is going to do exactly what you said. So instead of a distraction, they're going to learn tools and strategies to show up and create those joyful families. I'm pumped.
Yeah, exactly.
So excited about that. And I plan on making it really easy for everybody listening. So you can look below this video in the comments for links to Honor's Instagram, Facebook group. You have a free Facebook group. Do you want to tell
I
us about
do.
that?
Yeah, I do. So in the Facebook group, whenever I'm running a week-long workshop, we always do the follow-up Q&A and we do the replays and we share those in the group. So sometimes I know you guys will be working and you can't be there live. We're going to run it midday. But you know, across all the world's time zones, we're just guessing at a time that will work for people. So replays will be available starting afternoon or evening on each day. And I'm also going to send those out on a replay page. So there's literally no reason why people can't make it happen. Like watch 30 minutes before you go to bed each night. I'm going to make it really easy for you. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to connect in with some life-changing tools and skills that come from many decades of practice. So I encourage everybody to come and make space for themselves.
Great. And did we miss anything? Is there anything else that you feel like they should know?
No, I'm just so grateful. I just want to say I'm so grateful to connect with other moms. And as a teacher and coach and guide for moms, and as a mom myself of two girls, a tween and a teen, I will say that the more you make space for your learning and growth, rest is important too, but learning and growth will save you so much time exponentially and make life so much easier and more efficient. To put in 30 minutes, you get back 10x, you know, that amount in terms of peace of mind. It's easy to put yourself on the back burner, but this is a time to resist that urge and really say yes to your own growth and development for the sake of your family, because the healthier you are, the happier your kids will be 100% of the time.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, Jamie. Thanks for having me. This
It
was so
was
much
fun. It was great to see you. And I'll
fun.
make sure that everybody has easy access to not only registering for the workshop, but to your Facebook group.
Okay,
Thank you,
amazing.
Honor.
Thank you so much.